Hi, this week on Ladies on a Roll, I'll be joined by a very special guest. She's hilarious stand-up comedian, writer, and she has her own podcast called For the Love of Sarah. It's a podcast about two funny ladies named Sarah. Go figure. And they're from Seattle. They will take you on their invigorating journey through the trials and tribulations of relationships and dating pop culture. So please welcome Sarah Skilling. Yeah. Hi, Sarah.
Hello.
This week, I let my special guests pick what we were going to watch. We watched the movie Clue, the 1985 version. I have to ask Sarah, what was the reason behind this choice?
I just think I saw this when it came out. So maybe when I was 5 or 6, and I didn't even understand most of the jokes, because they're
right.
I just loved it. And I love the game Clue. So it's just super fun for me to play the game and think about the characters,
Really? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, for those who don't know, the movie is based on a Milton Bradley game where 6 guests are anonymously invited to a strange mansion for dinner. But then afterwards, their host is killed and they must cooperate with the staff to identify the murder as the bodies pile up. Ooh. So yeah, you were about what? You said 4 or 5, right?
I think it came out in
1985.
Yeah. So 5 or 6. Yeah.
Yeah. Your parents let you see that?
My first movie I saw in the theater was Ghostbusters, and it scared the crap out of me. So yes,
my parents, Ghostbusters?
Yes. I remember my dad took me, my brother, to get out of the house because my mom was throwing a baby shower for a neighbor, and she thought he was going to take us to a kid movie, and he took us to that. And I remember sitting on my dad's lap and just being terrified of the first scene with that librarian.
Okay.
So yeah. Anyways, they did not ever censor the movies I watched.
Oh my gosh, was it hard for you to ever watch Designing Women because is that the same actress that plays the librarian in Ghostbusters that was in Designing Women?
No, not the librarian, but the ghost, the library ghost at the beginning.
The library ghost. My bad. I was like, wow, you must have been traumatic through Designing Women. Okay.
No,
no worries.
I love that show.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, back in 1985, I was probably about 15 when this movie came out. I do remember seeing it in the theaters. It was an interesting choice watching it again as an adult in 2022. That's kind of the fun thing about watching some of these old movies. You're just like, oh, wow, this would be so canceled today, But I found out that Clue was a cult classic. It didn't do well in the movie theaters at all, actually.
Mm-mm.
And one of the reasons why it did not do well in the movie theaters back then was because they had 3 alternate endings.
Yeah.
And the premise behind it is that the producers wanted people to go to different theaters to watch that ending. So they put the different endings at different theaters, thinking that people will just be like, oh, we love this movie, let's go see it again at some other theater. But no, it didn't happen that way. And they came out under in what they paid for it. So I think the movie cost them about $15 million to make, and they came in at about $14.5 million. So that was not good. That was not good at all. Did you really like some of the characters? What were some of the aspects about the movie you really liked?
Well, I liked Tim. I can't remember if Annie came out before this or after this. I think it came out before, 2 years
the
before.
Movie Annie.
Yeah, because
with Tim Curry in it.
Because he played Rooster, and man, I love the song that he does with Bernadette Peters, Easy Street, and just the physical comedy. So I always thought he was cute too, Tim Curry, even as a young child.
Really? Now, and you didn't know anything about his previous start, which was Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah,
you
or
were probably
that he was
way
a
too young.
Shakespearean actor. So.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. He has a.
I think you and I went and saw Rocky Horror at the Queen Mary one time.
Yes, we did. Yeah. Seeing Tim Curry, back in 85. Yeah, I definitely would have seen Rocky Horror Picture Show way before I saw this movie. I remember seeing Rocky Horror Picture Show. I probably was about 12, and they did it at the midnight showing. So, where were my parents, you ask? Oh, okay. I'll tell you. They didn't care.
Yeah.
So
sounds like we had similar parents.
Yeah. So yeah,
Like
that's how that went. Right. I mean,
hey, we're great.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of the interesting aspects about this movie is the plot line there. So what did you think about the storyline? I mean, how did it bring you through?
I didn't see it in the theater, so I saw it on video where it was just like the movie, and then they played all 3 endings like right back to back. So that's the only way I ever knew it. You know, I never like just saw one and was like, oh, I wonder what the other ones are. But I mean, I just think it's like a lot of physical comedy and just, I mean, the characters are just bizarre. And I think this is like the movie is where I learned that it wasn't Colonel Mustard, it was Colonel Mustard.
Oh, that there's the imaginary R in there.
I was like, why is that Colonel? I called him Colonel Mustard for a long time.
Colonel.
Yeah, and
I love that.
And I think I had crushes on most of the men in the movie.
Really? Even Michael McKean.
Yeah, man. He's the one I had the most crush on. Like, I remember being extremely disappointed when he's like, I'm gonna go home and have sex with my wife at the end. Or I mean, he was either getting married and going home, or he was gay. And I was like, well, none of those work for me.
Well, did you ever see him as Lenny on Lenny and Squiggy and Laverne and Shirley? Because he was really cute back then too. I mean, he was younger.
That was not in my preview.
Oh, really? I mean,
I never really watched like Laverne and Shirley.
Oh, it's one of my favorite shows. I love that show. I love Penny Marshall. I love her. I think she's hilarious. Here's the thing. I had a problem with the plot line and the storyline here is that one of the aspects about this movie where it doesn't quite work is that it doesn't follow the 3-act play, which is kind of like the introduction of characters. And then you have the storyline where it has like an arc to it. And then of course, there's got to be some problem where all hope is lost and maybe there's like a false victory, but then everyone comes together. And then the final act is where everyone kind of comes back together and there's a resolution. This movie doesn't quite have all that. There is those 3 elements, but they're not followed well. In the very beginning, we're following around the butler, Mr. Wadlow, I believe his name was.
Wadsworth.
Yeah. We're following around the butler and for a good 10 minutes while he's prepping the house, and it's not interesting. And you keep thinking something super funny is going to happen because, first of all, Tim Curry is a comedic actor, but he is doing some things that seem kind of funny, but they don't quite get there. And then he starts messing with the dogs for, like a good 5 or so minutes. And you're like, okay, what's the setup here? What's the setup? So the setup with the 5-minute dog scenes is that he steps in poop and walks in and doesn't have time to clean it up before the first guest arrives. So now every guest walks in and is looking at their shoes and they're sniffing around. And so that was just too long of a setup to create that joke. But I would like to say one thing about that scene is that when all the guests come in and he's kind of introducing them and they're all kind of sniffing around, they look at the back of their shoes. Madeline Kahn is the only one who sniffs around and then sniffs her finger and she looks at the back of her shoe, because I thought that was hilarious and of course very comedic, because it definitely stands out. That was one of the things that could have happened a lot more. You had a whole team of comedic actors and I think they could have done a lot more improv had they been given that free reign to do.
Yeah, I think that just with the 3 endings, they had to have so many different storylines. So they were all plausible. So they were just so busy putting in all the details so that you could go back and watch again and be like, oh yeah, he did say that. Oh yeah, she did do that. Yeah. And so it's just like, just putting so many little Easter eggs that there was really no time to develop any of them.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing. I wanted the storyline to go a little bit more, because one of the things that happens in the game, like let's say you're playing the actual game Clue, there's only one murder. And in this movie, there was multiple murder. It didn't quite fit. And so now you're just like, well, it doesn't quite fit true to the game, because it would be stuff like Colonel Mustard in the library with a lead pipe, and they end up giving up all their weapons, and they didn't quite have the weapons for that long. And
well, yeah, but I mean, it allowed the movie allowed everyone to be the murderer, where in the game only one person gets to be the murderer. So they're all plausible when you're playing the game now. Like, oh, well, yeah,
absolutely, that is true. But you could also assume those are the guesses, because like when you're playing the game, you have to guess. Okay, is it this person? So it could be seen. The last 3 different endings can be seen as the possible guesses. Yeah. And then I think the third one, they said this is what actually happened or something like that.
Well, I read that they did a 4th one, but they didn't put it in, which was like when Wadsworth kills everybody.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the 4th one is where it didn't show that he would poison everybody.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome.
I know.
See what happened with that. Did you see any discrepancies in the movie?
I mean, it's like I wasn't. I guess when I rewatch, I wasn't watching it that way.
Oh, like, okay. Oh, yeah. I find fault with everything. I'm like your negative.
Yeah, I was just watching it for enjoyment mostly. And
okay.
But I mean, discrepancy. I don't know. Tell me what you saw. Maybe I'll think of some.
Oh, I got a list, girl. I got like 3 discrepancies.
Oh,
well, the first one is not necessarily a discrepancy. It's just kind of a complaint. So it depends on which way you attack this. One of the things that happens as movies is that people cannot drive and talk and look at the same time. They have to stop the car, turn it off, and then discuss what they're looking and seeing ahead. So when Professor Plum picked up Miss Scarlet, they're driving up to the house and they had to stop the car, turn it off in order to see the house that is on top of the hill.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, you can still be driving and talk. It's not that bad of a multiple task thing. Just keep driving, look straight ahead. You'll eventually get there.
Why does it bother you so much? I mean, it's just like a creative choice. It's like you've taken this one little thing and be like, no, the movie is bullshit now. Did you see how he parked the car and stopped it? No, this whole movie, bullshit. Because like I know people that watch movies like you, and I've done it when I really don't want to like a movie. Like I do that. Like, well, it's all just shit. I hate all of it. But like, I don't know. I just, it's like I didn't direct the movie, and I'm glad I didn't. You're like, she spit the wrong direction. I don't know, man. I guess she didn't go to acting school.
In fairness, if I'm driving and I'm lost or I'm trying to find an address, I will turn down the radio. So I don't know. That has nothing to do with me trying to look for the address. I don't know. Maybe it's just my own hang up. So
I just figured that he was just so entranced by her beauty that he just could not do it all at once.
Oh, well, there you go. And she was very beautiful, by the way. I thought Leslie Ann Warren was very beautiful. Okay, so this is a true discrepancy in the movie. This next one. This is Colonel Mustard said, "Don't touch the knife that's in the cook's back," while he's touching the knife handle in the chef's back. So
maybe that's like a sight joke though.
I thought it was. So that's why I just kind of mentioned it. It was so slight. And I was just like, did people pick up on that humor? Because I did think that was funny. I thought that was funny. So the other thing I didn't understand was, where were the dogs when the stranded driver, the police officer, and the telegram girl came knocking at the door?
Maybe Wadsworth poisoned them.
He must have, because they were not barking.
Or again, maybe that was like a sight joke, just being like, here's these dogs that are being super obnoxious just when he's alone in the house. And then when everyone shows up, they're just nowhere to be found.
And obedient or something. It could have been a joke there too. I don't know.
I just think that the discrepancies you're describing are actually more just like, you discovering more amazing parts of the movie.
Well, how many times have you seen this movie?
Oh my God. I have it on DVD like a bajillion times.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I mean, you asked me to pick a formative movie. I don't pick formative movies that are not like,
Okay. So I kind of wanted to go back to talking about a little bit more about the storyline. What is it about the storyline that has you so interested in it?
I just like the character. I mean, the physical acting and all that. And I really remember most of the physical stuff, so it's just, and also just like I played Clue all the time. So it
you did?
Yeah. I mean, I played Clue all the time as a kid. So,
oh, wow.
And actually, I guess it was called Cluedo. And then it came to Washington or the United States. It was changed to Clue. So
really, I didn't know that. Look at Milton Bradley being so fancy with the words.
Yeah, because I watched this YouTube video with the Australian guy, and he's like, "Oh, Cluedo." I'm like, I don't. What's that even mean? So Cluedo
sounds like a bird.
I know.
Yeah.
So I played the game a lot. So I don't know, just had happy memories. And again, like it was one of the first movies I think I saw, so on video. So
that was better than Ghostbusters, apparently.
Well, Ghostbusters was in the theater.
Oh, right.
Yeah, this one was on video for sure. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so one of the things I found out about the movies, there's some interesting things like the color of everyone's car, like the character's car, was the same color as their piece is in the game. So I found that out. Yeah. And any clothing that they were wearing was kind of like the opposite of who they were. So like Mrs. White was wearing black, that sort of thing. Let's see. Mrs. Peacock drove a blue 1952 Packard car. So I was like, oh, okay. Well, that's kind of interesting. So one of the things I thought was really interesting was the attention to detail on some of the rooms. So what they did is they had secret passages in the movie that led to the same rooms as the board game does. So I thought that was kind of cool. That was kind of true to the game and, and to the movie. So that had a really good thing. But the really funny thing that I thought was hilarious was Professor Plum indicated at dinner that he works for the World Health Organization, which was part of the United Nations organization, which means he works for who. So I thought that was kind of fun. The thing I forgot about was that the singing telegram girl.
Oh, I love her.
That was Jane Wilden. She was from the Go-Gos, right? Yep. She was the guitarist from there.
I mean, my brother and I sing, I am your singing telegram, boom, all the time.
Oh my God. You're kidding.
No, all the time.
All the time. Oh my gosh. Well, what other thing? Do you guys quote the movie?
I mean, I have a Mrs. White pillow on my couch.
Well, your couch is behind you. Go get it.
All right.
I want to see it. Oh my God. Flames came off of my face. Yes. You can just hear her saying that, right?
I know,
that is an awesome pillow.
Thank you.
And that kind of goes back to what we were talking about, how I think if we were to have allowed, or the director and producer would have allowed the actors to do more improv, we would have gotten more out of them, because that moment where Madeline Kahn is saying that she hated Yvette so bad that there was flames coming off of her face, that was an improv scene and that they kept in the movie. But that just goes to show you how talented everybody was. I think if they were allowed to do a little bit more, it would have even been more of a cult classic. I really do.
Well, yeah. They're going to remake it, with like Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, I didn't know who was going to be in. I saw that they were going to come out with it in 2024. But I didn't go as far as investigating who would be in it. But that would be cool. Ryan Reynolds? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know who he'd play. I can't remember who they said he was going to play. I don't remember, but I just saw Reynolds. I'm like, okay, well, I guess.
Are you going to watch it? Or
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Probably not in the theater if it goes to the theater, but I'll I'll pay $1.99 on
Redbox. Yeah. One of the things I discovered was that the furniture, some of the furnishings that was placed into the set were rented. They were 18th and 19th century furnishing, and they were rented from private collections, which also included the private estate of President Theodore Roosevelt.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's some of those velvet couches.
Yeah. And I was just like, I'm sure they were like, everyone get off the couch. Don't murder anybody on this couch.
It had its own handler.
Yeah. I mean, it had to have insurance.
Couch does not like being touched.
Okay. Well, since you are a connoisseur of the movie, I have a question that I didn't understand the answer to.
Okay.
So Wadsworth keeps saying that the police will arrive in 39 minutes, right? But the chief rings the bell 45 minutes in real time later. So what's going on with that? Why is that so?
I have no idea.
I thought
you know when you think you know a movie and then you talk to somebody who's like, well, what about this detail? You're like, I just
did I just dump you?
Like, no, I didn't even think about it. I've never thought that in the movie. I've just never been like.
What do you think about when you're watching this movie then?
You know, that's a really good question. I mean, I think it's because it's almost like it's background music. Like I don't even hear it anymore because I've seen it so many times. So I'd have to.
Gosh.
Yeah, I need to watch it like very critically. I need to watch it with like a Celeste Davis eye. Be like they made eye contact. Why? But I mean, you know, but okay. So my question is, did you count how many minutes it was? Like
you can just push the up arrow when you're watching
so you're
a
just
movie.
like 39 minutes. You. No, it's been 45. I mean, you know, I like it because like these are things I would never think about. And
really? Well,
but also like honestly though, like you're an actor, right? You
right.
see things completely different than I do because you've worked on sets and you know how they work.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. So
okay. Well, well, that's kind of what I was just about to say was that as an actor, you know, you look at consistency, you know, you look at different aspects of a movie. And I guess these critical eyes that I'm looking at towards this movie is, first of all, it's 2022 eyes, not 1985 eyes.
Oh, for sure.
And I kept trying to, I actually had to watch the movie twice because I felt like I was a little bit too critical. So I went back and tried to look at it with 1985 eyes. It's very fun for back in the day. The humor is there, grossly inappropriate in some areas and including costume designs and all that kind of stuff. But that was appropriate for the day. That everything that was happening was appropriate. And it is fun. It is whimsical in some spots. I think some of the best areas where I think it was giving little quips of humor was people showing up at the door. So you had the police officer who was just kind of innocent. You had the telegram girl, which is hilarious. And of course, I love it when the guy comes up and he's pretending to be a Jehovah Witness or
oh yeah.
Is that right? He's being a Jehovah Witness?
I believe so. Yeah.
And trying to give a pamphlet and everyone's like, no. But yet he has a sheriff's pin on his lapel. So nobody's paying attention to that. Okay.
But did he show up 39 minutes into the movie?
You know, I did not click on that.
He could have been like, oh.
Yeah. No, no. When he shows up, I think that's when I hit the up arrows when he showed up because I knew he was the guy. But I didn't write down the note of where. No, I'm assuming it was him.
You know, I didn't write that note. So.
Okay, no, you did not. Not right there. All the actors in this film seem to have had huge careers, and so many of them were comedians. Their movie and TV credits are so long that it's really even difficult to start with them. So I recommend anyone who's really interested in the characters to please look them up and find out more information than what we're going to talk about for them, because they had just such big careers before and after this movie. And I'm kind of excited to talk about it. Who's one of your firsts that you wanted to talk about?
I talk about Tim Curry.
Tim Curry?
Oh, I know. What a shock. But I found there were other actors that were considered for this role. John Cleese and Rowan Atkinson.
Oh my goodness.
Could you imagine Mr. Bean? Like, I don't. It would work, but it would be hard if I'd already known him as Mr. Bean, you know?
Oh, really?
Let's see. He had a stroke in 2012, which had put him in a wheelchair.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
But yeah, like I said, I think I loved him most as Rooster and Annie.
Yeah.
He was like triple threat, you know, singing, dancing, acting, same as with Rocky Horror. But I don't know. He's just got this really like devilish glint in his eye. And I could just like, yeah, I would, if I could be in a scene in a movie with someone, it would be in the Easy Street scene and I'd be Bernadette Peters. That looked like so much fun.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, Bernadette Peters is very talented.
Yeah.
Did you like musicals growing up?
I mean, apparently, yeah.
Okay. I mean, did you ever want to be in a play or did you sing?
I mean, I was in choir and stuff, and I don't I love to sing. I sing all the effing time. I don't think I'm good at it. You know, it's one of those people, I'm one of those people that's on like America's Got Talent or The Voice, where they sing along to so many songs that they think they sing like the person that they're singing along with. But like, I don't think that, but I do know that I believe I sound better when I'm singing along, because a professional singer is filling in all the parts that I'm not doing. You know, if you took off the sound and just made me sing it, it would not probably be that pretty. But I used to sing like a song will come out tomorrow at the top of my lungs when I was a kid, which I feel bad about now because my mom had migraines like I do.
Oh my
and
God.
I just like, here I am. She's having a headache and she's just like, I said I'll come out. You know, it just not a good mix.
Would you be shocked if I told you that I did used to sing The Sun Will Come Out Tomorrow as a little girl and used to have to travel and sing that song?
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Did you wear a red wig?
No, but I had a red dress.
Okay, well, I mean,
I had curly hair to begin with. So
are you a good singer?
I was when I was younger.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was able to, I had singing lessons. I really wanted to be in musicals.
It's like I wanted to be you. Yeah. I love musicals. Like Newsies. I mean, you've seen Newsies,
you know,
that was my sexual awakening.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Christian
Bale, he's not a good singer, but
okay. No, I apologize. I've not seen it, but I have always wanted to see it.
You should see it because you'll recognize so many people.
Okay. Yeah. I'll definitely see it.
Oh, and Tim Curry, the thing that messed me up was he was in It, you know, he played the clown.
Oh, he was
in It. So
so the movie It didn't scare you?
No, it scared
Ghostbusters
the crap
did
out of me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, until when I was a kid. I mean, again, I saw that when it was on TV when I was 9. Probably not the best idea. Yeah, when it was on TV.
Parents watching you? I mean, what was going on?
They were watching it with me.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, can we just take a moment here to recognize?
I mean, I used to watch Unsolved Mysteries with my parents, but I didn't know what reenactments were. So I just thought people were getting murdered on TV. And I'm like, why aren't they just like arresting these people? We just saw them do it.
So we were talking about actors and you were talking about Tim Curry. So what else about, do you have any more about Tim Curry?
Not really. No. Next I had Elaine Brennan.
Oh, okay.
Eileen Brennan. Well, she, you know, has a very long list of things she's been in. Actually, in 1976, she was in a movie called Murder by Death.
Correct.
Which has a very similar plot to Clue.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. So
what role did she play? She played a bombshell, a sexy bombshell, didn't she?
Yes.
Yes.
I didn't watch the movie, but yeah.
What?
I haven't seen Murder by Death. It's
called Amazon Prime. It's $1.99.
That's what I did.
All right.
Well, you know, you just make a list of stuff I need to see. I'll do the same for you.
All right.
And then, and also this is interesting and also probably unneeded to know, but it was on the internet, is that Clue was the first movie that Eileen Brennan did after she was released from rehab for a painkiller addiction.
I know, that was such a thing.
Yeah, she's like, I love her too. Like, she was in Pippi Longstocking, the movie, and she played the orphanage leader. I always loved her. And she's just so like bizarre. You know, when I was watching it, I was like, I want to be her for Halloween. Like, that would be so much fun. I get like the cat glasses and some feathers and you know, talk about be very awkward at the dinner table.
No, I could see you being her. I can. She was someone that was kind of like, she always had this attitude that she was just over it. Yeah. You know, and then she was just kind of sassy and sarcastic and sometimes angry because she was in Private Benjamin, right? Yeah. And then she was in the TV show Private Benjamin as well.
Oh yeah, and she was also on Will and Grace as like an acting teacher.
Yeah. Well, who else was on Will and Grace?
Everybody.
That was what Leslie Ann Warren was on. She was the father's side piece and then eventually girlfriend.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Did you do stuff for Leslie Ann Warren? Because I found
a little bit.
Okay, well then I'll leave that. I'll let you do that one. The other person I had was Martin Mull.
Oh, I love Martin Mull. Gosh,
I will say I had a crush. I mean, I think I just, I'm in love with everybody.
Oh my God. Wait. You had a crush on Martin Mull back then?
Yeah, I loved him in that movie.
Yeah, you do like older men.
Yeah, but like, I mean, in that movie, it was way more of Michael McKean than it was like Colonel Mustard. But I loved him on Roseanne as the gay owner, you know.
Oh, right.
I loved him. And
I
then
missed that show.
My favorite thing was he was in that movie not that long ago, A Futile and Stupid Gesture. Have you seen that? It's so good.
Yes, I have. It's about the lampoon. Yes, I have seen it. Yeah, that was great. Yes.
Yeah, I watched it like 3 or 4 times just because it was so good. I mean, I just love seeing all those actors doing like different characters, but that was a great movie. And also I didn't know this, that he started out as a songwriter, musician.
Oh, that I did not know.
Yeah, he penned a 1970 country single, A Girl Named Johnny Cash.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right.
And then he began his own career. So there's a lot of Martin Mull music out there, I guess.
Wow. MM hanging out. Yeah.
And I couldn't really, I didn't really find that many. I really enjoyed like thinking about Rowan Atkinson or John Cleese as Wadsworth, but I didn't find that many other alternative casting, except for maybe like, I thought there's other ones, but they're your people. So I will leave that.
Well, that was really interesting. I had no idea Martin Mull had produced his own song. I mean, back then that would be a big deal to go into a studio, record it, and then get placed on a record.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like it is now where we just record stuff on our phones. I think people don't understand that, back in the day, well before cell phones.
Yeah. It was all physical and you had to like create it. And it was a whole process. It
was a process for sure. You even had to get money for it too. I mean, renting studios and all that kind of stuff. So for him to have gotten to the point where he was doing a song, that's actually a really big deal. So before I start getting into more of the actors here, as I mentioned before, please look these actors up. There's so much information on them. Their careers just took off before and after this movie. And it's just so hard to list everything out on what they did and what they accomplished. So please go to their IMDb page and help their star meter go up. Show them some love. Go to their social media sites. Everyone but Madeline Kahn is still alive. But who else died? What?
Eileen Brennan.
Damn it. Okay, you know what? Just give anyone who is alive or dead some love.
I mean, they're still on the internet.
And yeah, they are still on the internet. So there you go. Okay. So I did Madeline Kahn, and as I have been trying to mention, she did pass. She passed away from cancer, which was sad because she was a very, very talented actress. She started off singing at like German restaurants to earn $1. And that's how she learned how to sing. She didn't really have any true formal training. She was in Paper Moon with Ryan and Tatum O'Neal, and she actually won Best Supporting Actress for that film. So that was fantastic. Some of my favorite moments with Madeline was when she was on SNL. She was always really funny in that. Now, my first exposure to Madeline Kahn was when she was in my absolute top favorite movie, which is Blazing Saddles. Mel Brooks really liked working with Madeline Kahn, so he invited her to work in another movie of his called Young Frankenstein, which was another hilarious movie and introduces you to a whole other set of comedic actors that you all very well know. But yeah, she was a hilarious female comedian, and I loved her in all the Mel Brooks movies. And the one thing my husband does not know is, because I haven't ever told him about this yet, is that Mel Brooks is my hall pass, even though he's 96.
Wow.
So
Still. Wow.
Yeah, that would happen. And you know what? I have a feeling I would have to fight him off of you, because would you go for him? I mean,
no, I'm more of an Al Brooks kind of girl.
Al Brooks.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a whole other ball game. Yeah.
Al Brooks was in broadcast news.
OMG. I didn't even think about that. Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay.
You can have him.
What? I can have it. Yeah,
him.
that's fine. I would probably just do anything to make him laugh and say, "Could you just
feed him soup?"
I'd feel, yeah, I'd be like, here's a straw, here's some soup. Yeah, I'd be like, make a movie for me because I want to be famous. The Z level actress level is not doing it for
96.
Me. He's 96.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, I looked it up. I'm like, how old is he? 96. Yeah.
Means his kids are.
That is some money if he passes. You know, like that's royalty money. Anyways, yeah, my husband doesn't know that that's my one and only hall pass. I don't have any other hall passes.
Oh, see, not being married, all of mine are. I have endless hall passes.
Who are some of your hall passes?
Well, I don't have a hall pass because I'm not in a relationship.
Well, who would be some of your?
Oh, I mean, come on,
celebrities?
like Jason Momoa. I mean, if you're gonna go big.
Oh yeah. Oh, that guy. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and then who
else? He's really good looking, by the way. Yeah,
Brad Pitt. And Brad Pitt. And here's the thing about Brad Pitt is that he just told everyone that he has face blindness. So really, I could say I already had sex with him, and he could not deny it because he's
what is
I don't
face blindness.
It's when you don't recognize people's faces.
What?
Like you know their voice. Like even though you have vision, you can't like. There's no recognition in someone's face. It's like they have to hear your voice.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
All right. So the next actress I got was Leslie Ann Warren. And the great thing about Leslie is that there actually was another person who was slotted for this role. I don't know if you knew, it was supposed to be Carrie Fisher. And to be honest with you, I cannot see Carrie Fisher doing this role. I really cannot. I don't know.
Well, I think she couldn't because I think wasn't she supposed to do it, but then she was like unable for personal reasons.
Her personal reasons is that she needed to go to rehab.
Yeah. Could you imagine her and Elaine or Eileen? I don't know why I can't get Eileen Brennan just gets to the movie after getting out of rehab.
Yes.
I have a problem that they would probably be very toxic to each other.
Well, I don't think so much as that. I mean, maybe off screen. Yeah. But the only thing is that their personalities were very much alike on screen. You know, like a dark, sarcastic,
over it, kind of like jaded. Like
yeah. So I can't see Carrie Fisher being a bomb, a bombshell, for this role.
And
Leslie absolutely nailed it, and she was placed in at the very last minute.
Yeah, she's awesome. And I mean, she was like, I thought she was beautiful when I was young. I mean, I still do, but like when I was young, I was like, oh my, like you, like so glamorous. Like, oh my gosh, I thought she was just the most beautiful woman. I wanted to be her.
I can imagine. I mean, she just was perfect looking, and she was in that darn corset all day, and she
couldn't sit.
It was hard to sit. So Leslie Ann Warren actually married producer John Peters, and they actually had a son together.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah, interesting. Now we talked earlier; she was on Will and Grace, so that was good. But again, I cannot imagine Carrie Fisher doing this role. I don't think she would have been a good match for that. Now, speaking of an additional bombshell that was on this movie was Colleen Camp, who played Yvette, the sexy French maid. Now, one of the things I wanted to mention, I mentioned this in my last podcast where I was talking about the bombshell, the sexy bombshell that an actor plays, and you can give them different dimensions. It's interesting because Leslie and Colleen both played a sexy bombshell. However, they played it very differently. So yeah, I mean, both did a phenomenal job doing the sexy bombshell. And you know what? They deserve a lot of credit for that because they could easily play it as a one-note thing. But Colleen, what she did is she ended up showing up at the audition in a French maid uniform, and she put on a fake French accent. And I don't know if you knew this in the movie, but she ends up dropping the accent when she's talking on the phone just before she gets killed. So I don't know if you knew that detail.
It sounds familiar, but now that you say
so when you watch the movie for the 101st time, just before she gets killed and she's talking on the phone, you'll hear her drop her accent and she becomes American. And so that's very comedic right there. So, and same thing with Leslie. She did a wonderful job making it different And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right. So Michael McKean, you know, he does not get enough credit as an actor. We talked earlier that he played Lenny on Laverne and Shirley and was very successful with that. Playing dumb on TV or movies is actually really hard. You have to put a lot into it's a lot of energy to play dumb. And you have to be consistent because, you know, if you're smart, you'll accidentally try to react to things as a smart, rational person. So when you have dumb characters, it can sometimes trick you up a little bit.
For sure.
And some of my favorite comedic roles from Michael was his infamous one with Spinal Tap. That one was improvised a lot. That movie was improvised a lot, and I absolutely appreciate it. I watch it every couple of years, and it never disappoints. He had other successes. A Mighty Wind is another favorite of mine. That's another one where all the actors, they're just given a guideline of what to do, and they improv'd a lot of their scenes. So that was amazing. And again, he has a huge long list of acting credits and experience. Please, you know, look him up, give him some love, find him on social media and hit like on his stuff. I found out too that there's a Spinal Tap 2 coming out in 2024. So that will be really exciting. Hopefully he'll still be into that. The last character I had was Christopher Lloyd. The great thing about Christopher Lloyd at this time is the exact same time this movie came out is when the very first Back to the Future came out. So he had 2 movies out at the same time. And as we all know, Back to the Future is what catapulted Christopher Lloyd to even higher dimensions. And he already was. Yeah. Because we knew him as Jim Ignatowski on Taxi, right? You remember? I
didn't watch that. I was too young.
Did not watch Taxi.
Too young.
Jesus. Well,
just sorry.
No, it's fine. Look, I did not.
I had a crush on Judd Hirsch. So
of course you did. Of course you did. Why should I be surprised? Why should I be surprised you had a crush on Judd Hirsch? What was like watching the Goldbergs for you? I mean, he was
I didn't even watch that. I like him in running on empty.
Judd Hirsch is a phenomenal actor, by the way. Yeah, but he's definitely something we should watch one of his movies. For Christopher Lloyd, this movie really was at a very high peak of his career. I mean, it was actually the starting peak of his career. I mean, we all know Christopher Lloyd from Back to the Futures, but yeah, his other roles such as with Taxi and some of his other movies and TV shows. Who
Framed Roger Rabbit? I mean, terrifying.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, and his credits are just so long. I couldn't even grab at all of them. It's just too many to listen. So before we say goodbye, let me remind the listeners to please subscribe to this podcast. And if you're interested in Sarah Skilling's podcast, you can find it on Instagram at For the Love of Sarah Podcast, all one word. And don't forget to add an H for Sarah. Yeah, and I'll also include links to it in the bio and to connect you. And if you're listening to this and watching this on YouTube, it will be linked in the description. So thank you all. This has been Ladies on a Roll.
Thank you.